think the issue we were having was really lack of predictability in our sales and lack of ability to explain why we sold or why we didn't sell. I think we struggled with discovery, we struggled with predicting our sales. So that meant that it was just like some months we were doing great and some months we were doing, pretty bad. And Moonfire was kind enough to point out when we were doing poorly and said, "Why don't you speak with Matt?" The only thing I care about is like making my business better and more successful. So any help I can get, I will obviously take. Now, as you're saying, as founders, we get a lot of offers of advice, and a lot of that advice is completely useless, right? But still, like, you came with like good recommendations from both my VC but also other portfolio founders that said that they got a lot out of just having a single session with you. So I thought, why not? Let's try this out. So that was the reason I took the call. It was super useful, and I'll try and explain why. So I think all of us listen to SaaStr 20-minute VC, read generic advice on Twitter. Like, we kind of know what we need to do at a theoretical level. I think what worked very well with having the session with you was that you spent the time to actually understand where we were, how our sales motion works, how we think about qualifying leads, like actually getting down into the like nuts and bolts of our sales process. And then relatively quickly, like say, I think we spent maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes of you asking me questions and me sort of just explaining where I thought our pain points were. And then the next 30 minutes were, quite specific pieces of advice. I remember putting down 5, 6, 7 bullets that I then shared with my sales teams afterwards. They were just quite instantly implementable within our sales process, right? Because it's no longer generic advice. It's you actually looking at what we're doing and being like, yeah, I'd probably do this different, given that these are your customers and these are the problems that you're running into. So it goes from being like super generic advice that's very hard to implement to being something that's, yeah, very straightforward to implement.